So for hematology
Recording in
2, we will
progress.
be starting with your megakaryopoiesis or megakaryocytopoiesis. So this is the development, okay, or your maturation of your platelets. So we already discussed last meeting your development from your multipotent, okay, stem cell, and now we will be specific with your megakaryocyte or your thrombocytes. Okay, so the development of this cell is occurs in endomitosis. Okay, endomitosis. Usually, this endomitosis is a nuclear splitting without cell division. So, ano nangyayari? Mas nagdi-divide ang nucleus ni platelet, okay, or ni megakaryocyte kaysa sa cytoplasm. So, one cell, no, will divide its nucleus, okay, into multiple numbers. Okay, and that nucleus will be the one that signal also the splitting later on of the cell into fragments. So as we remember, your platelets are known to be cellular fragments. Okay? And when you say cellular fragments, okay, it is composed of a previously one cell. Okay? Siya lang ay nabasag into more cells. Okay, so what are the stages of your megakaryocytic maturation? So we do have your megakaryoblast again, pag merong blast, B for bata. Okay, pinakauna or usually the premature form. Okay, megakaryocyte. Pro meaning before. Okay, before megakaryocyte, promegakaryocyte. Next is granular megakaryocyte. On your granular megakaryocyte, this already forms your granules. Kaya nga siya granular, you know? And your mature megakaryocyte. So, this cell, okay, megakaryoblast, usually one megakaryoblast will later on split or fragment into around 2,000 to 4,000 platelets. So, ganun kadami. And it has two times the number of your normal chromosome. So, your megakaryoblast, okay, contains 64 kasi we do have 32, okay, 32 chromosomes normally. But on your megakaryoblast, it has 64. Okay. So, let's go on your megakaryoblast. So your megakaryoblast is a committed myeloid progenitor cell. So this also arises from your common myeloid progenitor. Okay? And it is the earliest thrombocyte stage wherein the nucleus divides without cytoplasmic division. So ito nga yung endomitosis. And results in the formation of giant cell with a size around 20 to 50 micrometers. So this is the most largest known cell in your bone marrow. Okay, in your bone marrow. Round nucleus contains around 2 to 6 nucleoli and fine chromatin. So, pag sinabi nating fine, usually still immature yung ating nucleus. Okay? Then pagka nagiging coarsely dense or dense, usually our nucleus is already being a mature one or starts to be mature. Okay? So it has a scanty basophilic cytoplasm with no granules. So on your megakaryoblast, still it doesn't have or doesn't exhibits any granulation. And later on that granulation will help us with our coagulation system. Okay? So this is a photograph or microphotograph of your megakaryoblast. And usually you could see some blebbings, okay, on the cytoplasm, and it has a high nucleus to cytoplasm ratio. Okay. Next, your promegakaryocyte. So it increases in size with around range of 20 to 80 micrometer. It is usually indented or lobulated as to the nucleus. So if we already see indentation, okay, lobulation in your nucleus, usually it signals that your cell is proceeding to its natural maturation form or its natural maturation cycle. Okay? And it has a coarsening nucleol chromatin, okay, with variable number of your nucleoli. So sabi nga natin, pagka fine, that cell is still immature. When it starts to coarsen, okay, dense, okay, your cell is already maturing. Okay, it also has basophilic cytoplasm with granules beginning to appear and cytoplasmic tags are usually present. So it is larger, okay, than your megakaryoblast. Okay, and you also have now the demarcating membrane system or your DMS, okay, which will, okay, later on the start of your fragmentation. So the demarcating system, no, we could see or we could observe that specifically with the presence of your cytoplasmic tags. So now, this is your micrograph of your promegakaryocyte. So you notice the indentation, the dense or the coarsening of your chromatin in a electron microscopy. You could see the chromatin is very, okay, coarse, meaning medyo kumakapal. And the cytoplasm, okay, has, okay, um, bleedings, okay, and the demarcating system is already present. So the indentation, don't forget, no, the indentation of your nucleolus. Okay. Next cell is your megakaryocyte. So in megakaryocyte, it increases in size up to 100 micrometers. So this is the largest, okay, cell in the body. Okay. Not only um in your bone marrow, but in your body. Okay. So it contains a multilobulated nucleus with a very coarse chromatin and cyto variable number of your nucleoli. So the cytoplasm may have many small granules that stains purple with right stain. So usually, okay, this is still an immature one, no, a megakaryocyte. And one megakaryocyte can produce around again 2 to 4,000 platelets after the fragmentation. Okay, so yeah. So this is the megakaryocyte. So we can see we have multilobulated nucleus. Okay? And the cytoplasm has already granules. Next, your thrombocyte. This is the mature megakaryocyte. So it usually, okay, measures around 2 to 4 nanometer in size, appears as pale blue cell with azurophilic granule. Sorry, this is micrometer. Okay? Mature platelets have no nucleus. So they don't have nucleus. Ano nangyayari sa nucleus? Kanina ang laki-laki ng nucleus natin. Sa nucleus, it will remain in the bone marrow and later on be phagocytized by your macrophages. Okay? So may iwan yan sa bone marrow. Okay? So the platelet usually, okay, appears pink. Okay, in the granules are usually pink in your cytoplasm. And now it is being released by your bone marrow. So yeah. As we can see in the photo, coming from your CFU GEEM M or your colony-forming unit, granulocyte, erythrocyte, monocyte, and megakaryocyte. Okay. Then you do have this chemical messengers, your TPO or your thrombopoietin, wherein this is a counterpart of your erythropoietin for the maturation of your thrombocyte. Okay. Then your SCF and your interleukins such as your 3, 6, and 11. If you would notice, okay, your IL-11 is all throughout the maturation of your platelet. That's why it can be utilized as a marker later on for your thrombocytes. Okay, so this is a summary of your megakaryocytic maturation. And if you would check, okay, or if you would see, no, from a small cell, okay, going to a bigger and larger cell, and then it will be very small. So it is a very different maturation phase from other cells, that your other cells from a big cell going to a small cell. This cell, okay, from a small one to a big one and to a larger one, then it will fragment later on into a smaller cell. Okay. Next, we go on to your platelet structure and major zones and function. So this is a cross section of your platelet. As to the contents, you do have your canalicular system, your mitochondria, okay, your dense tubular system, microtubular, cytoskeleton, and then you have your granules such as your dense granules, glycogen, and your alpha granules. So this is usually known to be your ultrastructure. Why do we call this an ultrastructure? Because your platelet is very small. Okay, that's why we call it an ultrastructure. So it contains no glycocalyx, microtubule. Okay, your glycocalyx, okay, serves as the outer membrane. Your microtubule microfilaments serves as your skeletal system of your platelet. Your open canalicular system is being utilized in the release of your contents, specifically the granules of your platelet. The dense tubular system, okay, mitochondria, glycogen granules, alpha, and dense granules. So first is your glycocalyx. So it is the outer membrane surface wherein it is a rich in glycoprotein. So same with your RBC and WBC. Okay, it has a outer membrane, but this one is composed of your glycocalyx. Okay. Also, this serves as your membrane receptor later on for your coagulation system, specifically your primary hemostasis. Okay, so it contains usually your glycoproteins, such as your glycoprotein 1B. So this is responsible or functions as a receptor for your von Willebrand, specifically in the presence of your prostacine. Okay, then your glycoprotein 2B, 3A and 3A. 2B and 3A, this usually serves as a receptor for von Willebrand factor and your fibrinogen, which is usually stimulated by thrombin or ADP or adenosine diphosphate. Okay, and your glycoprotein 5A, which is also a receptor for thrombin. So this glycocalyx or this glycoprotein serves as your match, meaning tagasimula ng yung primary hemostasis, because without this, okay, with dysfunction of this, you will have dysfunctional um, primary hemostasis and your coagulation system will be in a failure. Next, your microtubules and microfilaments. So this provide an active means of platelet contraction to squeeze out the contents of your cytoplasmic granules. So again, your microtubules and microfilaments serves as the skeletal system and muscular, okay, contraction of your cell. Okay, it also forms your submembranous band, inside your platelet that supports its shape as a discoid one. So a normal inactivated platelet is usually in the form of a round cell. Okay, because the contents and the microtubules and microfilament are still not activated or usually not contracted. So it contains your microtubule and contractile microfilament. Your contractile microfilament is composed of your thrombostenin. Okay? Thrombostenin wherein this contains actin, okay, which are closely related to your microtubules. Okay, next is your open canalicular system. This provides direct communication between your intracellular and extracellular compartment wherein, okay, this is the pathway of your release for your cellular content. So dito lumalabas yung i-squeeze out nila microtubules as to your cell. Okay? These are usually pores present around your membrane or cytoplasmic membrane. Next, your dense tubular system. This forms a circle within the microtubules. And usually, this is responsible for arachidonic acid metabolism and calcium sequestering pumps. So for your arachidonic acid metabolism, this is usually later on be utilized, okay, in the activation and functionality of your hemostasis. Same as with your calcium. Okay? And your calcium is usually utilized specifically for the contraction of your cell. So same as with the muscle, it needs calcium to contract. And later on, this calcium also, okay, will be utilized in your coagulation system. Okay? On your secondary hemostasis because calcium is very essential as a part of your secondary hemostasis as a co-factor or a co-activator of your coagulation factors. Okay, next is your mitochondria. These are responsible for energy production, of course, the production of your ADP and ATP of your cell. And that is usually utilized specifically for the contraction of your cell and okay, metabolism of your cell. Next, glycogen granule, which provides substrate, okay? Energy substrate, specifically your um, sugar forms later on or your carbohydrates to be utilized, okay, in the energy formation. Next, your alpha granules, okay, contains contact promoting factors, specifically this, your platelet fibrinogen, platelet-derived growth factor, von Willebrand factor such as your receptor, okay, factor 8 receptor, okay, your beta thromboglobulin, platelet factor 4 or your heparin neutralizing or your anti-heparin, and your fibronectin. So, your alpha granules, okay, are utilized to initiate contact. Very well. Okay. So again, your alpha granules contains contact promoting factors. So these contact promoting factors are utilized in order for your platelets to adhere, okay, in the surface of your site of injury. And later on, this will be also utilized in the activation and promotion of your platelet function. Okay, next is your dense or delta granules, which contain non-protein factors such as your okay, adenosine diphosphate, adenosine triphosphate, okay, your 5-hydroxytryptamine, tryptamine, or serotonin and your calcium. This will later on be utilized, okay, as an energy source, okay, for the coagulation system, specifically in your secondary hemostasis. So after the contents of your platelet, we go now to your platelet zones. For your platelet zones, it is composed of your peripheral zone, Solgel zone or structural zone, organelle zone, and your membrane system. First is your peripheral zone. So usually this is located on your glycocalyx, okay, cytoplasmic membrane in your open canalicular system and submembranous area. This usually is the exterior coating of your platelet, okay, and serves as the receptor site, okay, specifically your glycocalyx. And your submembrane area or some membranous area contains your phospholipid membrane or your platelet factor 3, which will serve as your surface area for interaction of your coagulation factors later on your secondary hemostasis. So your components of this peripheral zone are usually factor 5, von Willebrand factor, fibrinogen, glycoprotein 1B, 9 complex, and your glycoprotein 2B3A complex. So and also it contains other contents such as your glycolipids, phospholipid proteins, and your mucopolysaccharide. Okay? So for your factor 5, usually this is a component of your thrombinase complex that will attach, okay, the site for factor 10, okay, on your platelet surface. Okay, continuing the cycle of your hemostasis. Okay, and your von Willebrand will serve as a transport factor for 8 that will mediate the adhesion of your platelets, okay, via your GP1B9 complex to your site of injury. Okay? And your fibrinogen serves as a conversion, will be converted into fibrin in the final clot formation that will later on be stabilizing your clot. Okay? That is majority your clot will be in a fibrin mesh. Okay, that will stabilize your clot together with other coagulation factors. Okay? And your GP1B9 complex is a receptor for your von Willebrand. And your von Willebrand is not only produced by your platelet, it is also produced by your endothelial cells. Okay? And your endothelial cells will release your von Willebrand factor during your injury that will signal, okay, or promote the interaction with your GP1B9 complex. Then your GP2B3A, okay, serves as a platelet receptor for fibrinogen coming from your, again, tissue injury. Next, your Solgel zone or your structural zone. So this is located on your circumferential and all throughout the platelet. So meaning buong platelet. And specifically, this is the support system of your platelet. And it contains microtubules, microfilaments, intermediate filaments, and all that involves the maintenance and shape of your platelet. So um, usually, it also contains your actin and myosin. So again, no, the normal shape of your platelet is round or is in circle form, but during activation, no, it will be deformed. Okay, it will squeeze out its contents and it will appear later on as a star appearance, okay, or a crumpled paper. Okay, due to the contraction of your contractile protein such as this one. Okay, next, your organelle zone. So as the name implies, organelle, it contains the organelles of your cell. So location, internally located, and the components are usually your granules. And more abundant is your alpha granules than your delta granules. Okay, you also have your lysosomal granules, your hydrolytic granules that will help later on in the fibrinolysis and even in degradation of some microorganisms. Your peroxisome, mitochondria, okay, and your glycogen particles. So for your alpha granules, which is again a predominant granule of your platelet, um, this usually contains different proteins such as fibrinogen, von Willebrand factor, beta thromboglobulin, platelet-derived growth factor, and even platelet factor 4. And your dense granule contains again your ADP, ATP, no, the energy producing serotonin and calcium. So this is the contents again of your alpha granules. So it contains factor 5 and 11, okay, which is important in your fibrin formation on your common pathway of the secondary hemostasis. Next is your fibrinogen, which will be later on converted to fibrin. Okay, that will be a agent or a specific key factor specifically for your platelet aggregation. And your platelet aggregation, double G, okay, may repetition of letters, meaning this is the interaction of platelet to platelet. Pagsasama-sama ng platelet to platelet. While your platelet adhesion is the platelet and the endothelial cell. Okay. Next is your protein S. This regulation of your fibrin formation via protein C pathway. And it will be later on described on your coagulation system. Your your TPFI or your tissue factor pathway inhibitor, regulation of your fibrin formation by inhibiting factor 7 or your tissue factor complex. So your tissue factor complex or your factor 7 also initiates, okay, the extrinsic pathway of your coagulation system, and it is usually inhibited, okay, by your platelet release, okay, in order for um your extrinsic pathway not to proceed. Okay, this is usually released after the formation of your clot. Okay? So, von Willebrand factor, binding of platelet to collagen. Okay? The collagen is present in your endothelium. Okay? That's why, no, later on, the von Willebrand factor, okay, released by the platelet and the endothelium is, will be attached, okay, on your collagen on your endothelium that will be later on catching or adhering to your platelets. Next, you have your PI1 or your plasminogen activator inhibitor 1, which inhibits the fibrinolysis, okay, promoting the coagulation, okay, promoting the clotting, okay. And your platelet factor 4, wherein this is an anti-heparin or your heparin neutralizing and also serves as your chemoattractant. Next, your beta thromboglobulin also serves as a chemoattractant specifically for other platelets to come over in the site of injury during the activation of your platelets as to adherence to the injured site. Next is your thrombospondin, which stabilize your platelets. Next, the delta granules, your ADP. This is a platelet agonist, okay? Wherein this is serves as a positive feedback to enhance platelet response and recruitment. So sinabi nating agonist, okay, bida and okay, will promote more or production of more same cells. Okay, so kaya magpo-produce ulit ng platelet or it will call on the platelets to adhere on that site, okay, or to be activated. And meaning positive feedback, kahit madami na yung platelet on that site, it will promote still the recruitment. Pag negative feedback naman, okay, pagka enough na, enough na. Okay? Your ATP, activation of your calcium channel. This is an agonist for other cells to adhere on the surface, specifically your WBC, in order to trap your invading microorganisms. And then your calcium, this is important in the secondary hemostasis as a cofactor. Okay? And your serotonin, this is also platelet agonist that will later on promote vasoconstriction. And on your hemostasis, specifically in the primary hemostasis, it needs to have vascular contraction. Okay, in order to promote, okay, the formation or stabilization of your clot in the area. Okay? Four, okay, the contraction will help to lessen the blood flow in the area, promoting more cells to adhere in the endothelium. Next is your membrane systems. Okay? Your location, surface connected, open canalicular system or your SCCS, and your OCS. Also, you have your dense tubular system. Okay? For these components, your SCCS is important in storage and secretion. Okay? It is the interior of your platelet and connects to the platelet surface. This allows your entry and exit of your contents, okay, such as your platelet granules. Your DTS or your dense tubular system does not connect to the platelet surface, meaning sa loob lang siya. And usually, anong gamit nito is for this is a source of your ionized calcium and a site of your prostaglandin and thromboxane synthesis of your platelet. Okay? So your platelet. The characteristic of your platelet, usually the reference range of a healthy individual is around 150 to 450 A times 10 raised to 9 per liter, or approximately you have 7 to 21 per high power field. So in conventional method or in counting method, okay, using your hemocytometer or machine, you could produce a quantitative number or quantitative results such as K150 to 450. But if you would utilize indirect method of your counting such as preparation of blood smear and you observe 7 to 21 approximately in per field, you could just release a qualitative type of result which embodies adequate or inadequate number of your platelets. Okay. Then the lifespan is usually 8 to 12 days, okay, in the circulation. And 1/3 of your platelet is usually stored in your spleen. So same as with your RBC. Okay. In the right stain, it stains gray to blue with purple granules. And usually it has a shimmering appearance, appearing to glitters, okay, in your peripheral smear. Okay, so your platelets are usually found in your bone marrow, spleen, blood vessel, okay, specifically for hemostatic functions. Your giant platelets will indicate premature release from the bone marrow that could be seen in bleeding disorders. Okay? And your Immature platelets are found usually in certain disease such as your acute megakaryocytic leukemia, okay, myelodysplastic syndrome that promotes, okay, um release of premature platelets. So for thrombocyte function, dependent on the platelets secreted protein, okay, ATP, ADP, calcium, and platelet factors. Okay, it plays a major role in primary hemostasis and activation of your secondary hemostasis.